It's time for Dads Making a Difference, powered by First Things First. This transformative show will help you learn how to handle the stress of fatherhood, how to better relate to your child, navigate the child support system, and all things that come with being a dad. With your hosts, Reggie Madison and James Frankie Woods.
Fatherhood ain't easy. And the way the family structure has changed doesn't make it any easier. Obviously, it would. It would be nice and clean and neat if every child had two healthy, married, biological parents living in the home with them where they could get the quote-unquote best of both worlds. But that's not the world we live in. The family structure is a lot more complex. There's son, stepson, nephew, niece, biological child, non-custodial child, weekend mom, weekend dad, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Some people... they live with you. Some don't live with you. You may be married, single, cohabiting. You might be living with the mother of your child, or you may be living with the mom who has her own biological kids, while you have your own who may or may not live with you. Confused yet?
Yeah.
It's a lot to keep up with.
Yes, sir.
And that's why we call it complex, and that's okay. But you can't take simple issues or complex issues and give simple answers. Right? You can't do that. Right. And so one of the most complex parenting challenges a parent can have is when some of his biological children live with him while others don't, because they were birthed out of previous relationships. And that's what our guest here today is here to talk about. We want to welcome Quintus Fletcher. We're going to call him Q.
How y'all doing?
Man, we're good. Welcome, my friend. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you from? What was your family and life situation like growing up?
Well, I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Family life growing up was pretty typical. Single mom. My dad was involved, but I didn't live with my dad. Went to Hickson, graduated from Hickson. After Hickson, I attended Tuskegee University, where I played football. And that's pretty much the early life.
Yeah, cool. So what is your current family structure like? How many kids? How many, what's your current relationship? Who's in the house? Who's not in the house? That kind of thing.
All right. I think me and my wife were considered like the young Black Brady Bunch. Like, when I met her, I had 3 sons, and she had 2 sons and a daughter. And we was both in the same mindset. Like, we don't never want to be in a relationship, but I just like seeing her being a mom, and she appreciated me being a dad, and we were just friends. All right, so fast forward years later, we get married, and we have a son. So we got 7, 3 mine, 3 hers, and then we have 1 together. And my 3 live in Auburn, Alabama.
Okay.
So everything you name, that's my household. Every single thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So your 3 from the previous live in Auburn. Mm-hmm. The 2 that y'all had, the 1 that y'all have together, and then how many did she have?
3.
And they live with y'all as well?
Well, 2 do.
2 of those?
Yeah.
Told you it was complex.
Yeah, man, I'm confused. But I'm about to learn today. I'm about to learn.
Well, we counting them down. We got a 22-year-old. Well, he'll be 22 in November. He's in Auburn. And then we got an 18-year-old. Well, 19, he graduated, which is her oldest. He's out the house. So we knocking them out every year. Stepping stone.
Okay, hey. Y'all got some goals for the rest of us right now. Y'all starting to see him edge on out though.
Oh yeah,
that's the blessing. What we supposed to be doing.
Oh yeah,
that's what we supposed to be doing, man. Man, just give us a little history about the boys who don't live with you.
All right, I got Lil Q. Like I said, he's 21. He'll be 22 in November. Zion, he's a senior in high school. Lil Q's a 3rd-year junior at Auburn University. Okay. And then I got Trey. He's a junior at Auburn High School. Zion graduate this year. He probably end up going to Alabama State and play basketball. And then Trey will be a senior, so I have 1 more to go.
Oh, man.
Nice.
He on the dad thing, man. He is on it.
And so at what point, have they ever lived with you?
Well, up until they really got into high school sports, I got them on summers and Christmas breaks and everything. Then when they life caught up and they were so busy, it was 2 weeks here, a week there. So they live with their mom typically during the school year, and they would come live with me during the summer.
Yeah. Okay. So what's that been like? What's it like having boys that don't live with you while you also have kids that do live with you? What's that like on the boys that don't?
Man, I got miles on me like a truck driver. Say that. I don't miss too much if I can't. Like even basketball games, I leave here at 4:00 and I get to Auburn by 7, watch a game and be back home by 1 a.m. Like I've done that so many times that I can do it in my sleep. So I try not to miss big events, and I try not to make any excuses for it. Mm-hmm. If I can be at Paris game at Washington Hills, I can be at Zy game at Auburn University. You know, it's just a couple more hours in the car. So I never pretty. From my point of view, I just feel I treat them all the same. If they call me and say, "Hey, Dad, I got a big game. Can you come tomorrow?" I'm gonna be there, no matter what I got going on. And from their point of view, you know, I'm not in the house.
Right.
I mean, that's the only thing that I think I'm not there in the house. But for his parenting, FaceTime is a miracle. I see him every day. I talk to him every day. I still co-parent every day. You know, and it's, you know, it ain't always been easy. You know, we ain't always been on the same page. But like I say about FaceTime and communication, and my boys at a certain age, I can kind of parent without her. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things when I feel like when young men get to a certain point, certain conversations get uncomfortable for the mom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they won't admit it, but it does. And I got a situation like my oldest, he was about 17. He texted me one day. He said, "Hey, can you send me some money for some condoms?" And I laughed about it, you know, and I'm like, "Yeah, I send you some money for condoms." And then he texted me back and said, "Hey, they gonna ID me for these condoms." So now I'm laughing. So I'm like, so that let me know you ain't never bought none. So if this is not your first time, that means you was unprotected. So I'm in the day. I ain't even thinking about the situation no more, right? So we get that
thought process is just so different.
Yeah, so we get that conversation out the way, and I didn't even think nothing of it, right?
Gotcha.
2 weeks later, he gets in trouble. His mom takes his phone. So she goes through his text thread and read me his text. So instead of taking it like, well, he had that conversation with his dad, I ain't got to address this situation, I'm good, it was totally opposite. It was, you knew he was having sex and you didn't tell me? And I just had one simple question for her, like, can you imagine your son having sex? And she said, no. I said, well, that's why I didn't tell you. You know, so I just get, you know, different dynamics, you know.
Right. That's real.
Yeah. It's something that women don't understand.
Yeah.
And I get that, you know what I mean? I truly get that, what you're saying. And sometimes we as fathers have to process things different. We think both ways.
Exactly.
Especially by being raised in a house with just a single mom. Because sometimes we have to be the protector and we have to be the provider. So I understand that. Me coming from a single household, I truly get what you're saying.
Exactly.
How have y'all, like you and the mom, navigated? Because, you know, you got to navigate that while you still married.
Hey, my wife is, I don't know, my wife different. She's a different type of human being, even the way she processed everything. Like, I wish I could look at life from her point of view. She give everybody a fair chance, and whatever mood you in, whatever you with that day, that's what she gonna be with. If you want to be, you know, best friends that day, that's what she gonna bring. If you don't want to speak that day, she can be cordial that way too. So she's never been the one that make it difficult for me. You know, she's like, I feel like she want me to let her win. She looking at it from a woman's point of view. So sometimes I might be like, well, nah, I ain't gonna do that because I feel like since such and she was like, well, nah, you know, go ahead and do it. Even if you feel like she's getting over on you, those are your kids. So she's always on her side, you know. So my wife has always made it easy. It ain't always been easy on the other side because we was young and, you know, things happen and you grow. And I feel like my life kind of moved on. I met somebody and got married and she didn't. So for a long time, she resented me. And so, you know, she would speak and be cordial when my wife was around, but I knew, you know. And then when I had Paris, oh, man, it hit the fan. It was just like...
That's your youngest.
Yeah.
That y'all have together.
Yeah, it was like... She never said she resented Paris, but I think she did because after she had our last Trey, she had a two-stop, so she couldn't have any more kids. So she kind of held that against me like, wow, you had another kid and I can't have kids, you know? So I don't know if that was her being selfish or was I being selfish because, you know, so that was kind of hard to deal with, but we kind of got over that. I mean, we good as we can be for us. You know, she got her life and she's doing well, and I got my life and I'm doing well, and we co-parent well. It's just sometimes we not on the same page because she just sees stuff from her point of view and I see stuff from mine, and we really don't have to compromise on how we feel. We just got to make sure these boys are okay. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
gotcha.
we can agree to disagree all the time. Like, but what is the best interest for this kid? So that'd be our only friction. But you know, pretty much communicate. we good. Ain't no beef. You know what I'm saying? We can go to events together. We can be there at the same time. It's not weird energy a lot of times, but sometimes it is. And that just comes with it.
So how have you feel like? How has it affected your kids? How do you feel like it has affected your kids?
I don't think it affect my kids too much because we don't let no negative stuff come out in front of them. And I never speak negative about her to them, even if she dead wrong. I'm going to keep it, fair. I'm not ever going to bash her in front of them. And my boys know me. They know that they my everything. There's nothing she can say to ever deter that. Like, they know Daddy going to be there regardless. So it don't really affect them much because, like I say, FaceTime is the best thing ever happened when it comes to raising kids. Talking to somebody is different than seeing them. I can see the emotion. I can see, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of different. I can do everything but touch them. You know what I'm saying? So.
Gotcha.
So do they come, I'm assuming, occasionally they'll come stay with you from time to time?
Yeah.
And they're older, so it's probably not as much of an issue, but I'm curious at how they respond to your wife.
They love her to death. My wife was she was the stepmom that sneak and buy them stuff after I say no. Like, they would go to her and be like, some Jordans come out Saturday. My dad say no, and she gonna go make sure they get them. She that stepmom. She is, like I say, she different. Yeah. So
shout out to Miss Q, man. She holding it down.
Yeah, that was never an issue.
We're gonna have to get her on the show.
Yeah, she holding it down.
There's some ladies that want to hear from her, I'm sure.
But she ain't taking no mess either. But
gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? She always on her side.
Gotcha. So this is my question to you. Now, it's not even a question. If you had a chance to just say something to your baby mother about your kids that you haven't had a chance to say, and you got a chance to speak into her right now, what would you want to tell her from your point of view?
Man, I'm pretty transparent, bro. I don't hold nothing back.
Gotcha.
I've said it. If I, you know what I'm saying? I don't hold nothing back, bro, because I can't go to sleep at night.
Have you ever said something like that you regret, but that caused a lot more friction than you thought it was going to cause?
Right. Yeah, numerous times. In younger days, just tit for tat. She probably say something to get under my skin, and I know how to push her buttons, just being petty, but nothing that genuinely, you know what I'm saying?
And so have you ever had to back her?
I back her all the time. My kid's mom?
Yeah.
Oh, man, the best mama 3 boys could ask for. Top of the line. She is, as far as being a mother, I couldn't ask for another one. Like, she is A1. It's just us communicating it kind of, you know, sometimes. But her being a mom, yeah, she's everything as a mom, a boy mom. She's everything.
Cool. Man, so did you, like, how'd you accept it? I mean, was it always that easy for you? Or did you at some point, like, I know lots of times we have guys on the show and there was bitterness for a little while, or there was just this, that transition period where finally one day it just kind of hits and we're like, oh, she's actually, our relationship would have had issue, not the parenting relationship.
Nah, that ain't never been an issue. Like, she's always been a great mom.
That's cool, yeah.
Like, that's one thing I say, God bless me with 2 women to raise my kid. Like, she's a great mom. Our problem was, I think we was too serious, too young. I met her my freshman year in college, and I'm playing football in college. So I come from being a star football player at Hickson High School. Then I go to Tuskegee, HBCU, culture shock. It's 22-1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm one of them. So I ain't just on campus. I'm on campus. So, you know what I'm saying? So
you the BMOC for real.
Yeah. So, and then I meet her first semester in computer science class.
Okay.
So, and I met her because her shoes, every day she had on every Air Max they made that year. And I'm a shoe person. I'm like, man, you got more pair of shoes than me. So that was the initial conversation. And so we'll be in class 5 minutes and this girl will be done with her whole assignment. I'm like, man, help me. So come to find out, she had been doing this type of work as working at a bank doing high school, so she know how to do. So she'll finish me and her work in the first 10 minutes. So I had a young professor that was like 23, bad, and I used to always flirt with her. So she was like, "Next time that girl do your work, I'm gonna give you a 0." I'm like, "Huh? How you know what you doing my work?" She was like, "She'll miss one problem for you, and y'all got the same exact answers." I'm like, "Wow." So that's how we became communicating. She kind of helped me do my work, and we became friends, you know what I'm saying? Gotcha. But it was rough having a girlfriend on campus playing football. Oh, my God.
It's always the sports guys, man. You know what I mean? But it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to be where you are right now, man. Coming from where we come from.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. So I like to ask you another question, man. It's just nothing too serious. So how do you feel about your profession and what you're doing as a man right now to show your sons how to be a man in this world?
Oh man, the work I'm doing now, I think is very instrumental for my boys because, like I said, I'm raising 6 black boys, and I mean we can't ignore the elephant in the room. How the system is set up against us. So the work I'm doing now, I'm working reentry programs, so I'm seeing firsthand, and so every day I get to go home and tell my son situations and stories of what to expect in this world and how he's gonna be viewed regardless of his profession, his degrees, or whatever. At the end of the day, you're still a black man, and we are viewed differently. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I don't harp on race because I feel like sometimes that's a coward way out. Right. You get bagged in the corner, the first thing you want to holler is race. Nah. I went to Hickson High School from 6th to 12th grade. I got plenty of white friends that I consider like family. Yeah. So it's not a race thing, but it is what it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they'll be proud of the work I'm doing now because I feel like I'm putting back into the community. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm imagining seeing all 6 boys together in one place.
Hey, y'all, listen.
The food bill got to be high.
Hey, I know, right?
So I used to have all 7 at the same time in the summer from May to August. Okay. And I do the cooking in the house. My wife, she cook macaroni. That's her dish. I do all the rest of the cooking. So I go to Sam's, I get the 15 dozen eggs, literally. Like when I tell this story, people think I'm joking. I get 15 dozen eggs, and every morning I have to cook 12 eggs. That was breakfast. So
that's about right.
12 eggs, and they eat bowls of cereal while I'm cooking breakfast. So that's a gallon of milk a morning, a box of the family size cereal while I'm cooking breakfast. This is every day in the summertime. Yeah, I had to do all bulk shopping, nothing from Walmart. I had to go to Sam's and Costco's.
Man. Kudos to Q, man.
Yeah, right. And he the one cooking in the morning, too.
Seriously.
So I'm sitting thinking folks need to send him some gas cards to go up and down that highway. Right. Some Sam's gift cards.
Right. We supposed to give back now, fellas.
Right.
We supposed to give back.
Well, so how do moms help dads that are generally not the primary residential parent?
Number one thing, man, as mothers, no matter what the dad has done to you and hurt your feelings, you can never pour it into the kid. That is number one. Your kid, I don't care how the mama look at you, your kid look at you as a hero. Period, point blank. You're their first hero. So there's nothing that she can say when a kid look at you as they idol. There's nothing she can say that's going to deter that. So, you're really wasting your time and it's making the kid resent you. And see, that's what I went through with my oldest. See, when he got to an age, he came to me one day and he was just like, man, mama tripping. So I was like, what's up? He was like, how did you date her in college? I said, you ready for this conversation? like seriously. He was like, yeah. He said, cause bro, I can't do nothing right. She always on my bumper. He was like, I just can imagine her being my girlfriend in college. I said, boy, it was rough. It was and she was so jealous-hearted, and I'm friendly. I talk to anybody. Right. I might be coming out the cab, and I'm going to talk to everybody I see. And she over there looking like, why are you talking to her? So I went through this daily. So I was just telling him, bro, it's just, it's your mom. She love hard. So you just got to deal with it, So I tell him, though, you going to end up dating a girl like your mom. And he was like, why you say that? I'm like, not the stuff, not the bad qualities, but you going to look for all that, the good qualities in you going to look for that, And I found that out in the truth of my wife because as I get older, the way she sets the house up and carry herself and balance checkbooks, that's the same stuff my mama did. You know what I'm saying? And I was always that kid. I'm never going to treat my kids like my mama treated me. You mean, blah, blah, blah. And that's what I married, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy that you resent that your whole life and then you run right to that, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, Keith, man.
That is. What have you learned about you? Especially since college.
Yeah.
That is more to it than me. It's not just about me. That everything I do,
that's real.
it either represents them or it's gonna fall in their lap. So I, especially with my name, I got a junior. So I try, not to damage my name as much because he got to live in that truth. You know what I'm saying? If I'm dead and gone, he still got to be cute. And so I just try not to, do nothing that tarnishes the name like that. Even my last name, I just try to walk a straight path, and I try to be an example that I would want them to follow.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Before we get into these questions, man, I like to give my brothers their flowers. And today it's about Q. Today is about Q being a father. Today is about Q raising these fathers, these young men to be a product of what he wants them to be. So today we salute you, brother.
I appreciate it.
And you keep grinding. And I want to say thank you because I know where you come from. And I seen you grow through what you went through, man, and I commend you. I commend you, brother. So keep going. Because when I saw you when I came in the office and I saw you that day, I said, oh, man, if I see him, then I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing right.
Right.
So I appreciate you for stalling that in me, brother. When I saw you, that made me know that I was doing something good.
Right.
So truly thank you, man. From James Woods and from Reggie Madison and First Things First, we salute you.
I appreciate it.
I'm sitting here tripping because every Monday we share we both work and work for different organizations, but share office space. I don't never see him look tired.
Never.
He come in and Q is the same. He's consistent every day. And admittedly, I would not have known that you be traveling back and forth to Auburn with that type of consistency.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, it's so many brothers got so many excuses.
Mm-hmm.
And they easy. It's easy not to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But your kids are that important, you know? And it means a lot that as they get older, they calling you up and saying, Dad, I need this, or Dad, man, what's going on with Mom here? Or, but because you invested all that time and you didn't let the fact that, some distance stop you.
Yeah.
Now you're taking advantage of technology, FaceTime and all that stuff. That now you reaping the benefits. You getting the rewards of all that investment.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
So we got 5 questions we'd like to ask you. So we're going to go ahead and roll into them. What makes dads irreplaceable?
Like I say, you the first superhero these kids see, man. Like when a kid like Spider-Man, you can put 1,000 Batmans up there. He gonna always go to Spider-Man. So when you their first hero, you the first thing they look up to, you the first role model, the first example, that's irreplaceable. You can never replace that. I don't care how many stepdads come. Nobody can take that place. And not saying the stepdad's not important, because stepdad are so important. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in some situations they more important than the biological dad. But you're gonna always look at that biological dad as a hero. And I use my sister as an example. My biological sister, her dad wasn't present as he should be. But you can't say that in front of my sister. You can't say nothing negative about her dad, Wow. So it's her hero. Whether he was there or not, he's still her hero. So you can't take that away.
Q knows some people, man.
Yeah.
Q knows some people.
So give me, you got 7 kids, 6 boys, right? What is the craziest thing and most outrageous thing you've ever done with any of your kids?
That I've done with them?
Yeah. Give us a memory and experience.
I was in college, and Lil Q was probably, was I in college still? About to graduate college, or probably just graduate. I was still living in Auburn though, and I had a white Caprice. Had just got it painted. Had on save my little money, get it painted. I thought my car was it. I'm at the gas station, got a Lil Q on my lap. You know how daddies do.
Yep.
Trying to let your son drive. Not really paying attention to how he had the wheel. So I hit the gas a little bit. Lil Q turned that thing right into the thing that protects the pump. Man, dented my whole side, man. So I got to tell his mama, and she mad at me because he in my lap and not in his car seat, bro. So I'm like, man, I done lost all the way around, man.
So what advice would you give your younger self, man?
Hey, man, put him in that car seat, scrub him up, man. He don't need to be in your lap. Nah. Yeah.
Go ahead with the next question, Reggie.
Yeah, go back. So now, besides putting him in the car seat, what advice would you give your younger self?
And I don't even know what I was thinking. I mean, you know what's right or wrong. I know that didn't make sense and that wasn't right. That was just, just being young,
Gotcha. Gotcha. So the biggest barriers to fathers who are non-traditional fathers, what do you see?
Barriers?
Yeah.
I think letting the outside people dictate what being a good dad is.
Mm.
You can't let the outside. Nobody understands the bond and relationship you got with these kids, man. So I don't never let, even my mama, man, I don't let nobody dictate me and my kids' relationship. Like my mom gets mad if I yell at Paris. That's her baby. That's her. So I get off the phone with her. Nobody tell you not to yell at me. Right. I holler at you later on. I love you.
I'm grown now, man. You got to respect it.
So, all right. What if there's one experience you want your kids to have? What would that be? And it could be traveling. It could be, whatever. But what is one experience you want to provide for your children?
I want them to see the world. I just feel like when you travel, when you see other people and the way they move in other walks of life, it kind of brings you, like, we all pretty much the same, but it's just going somewhere, like, to another country and just seeing different cultures and seeing how they love and how they carry on. It just changes your way of thinking. And I just want all my kids to travel. Like, I wish I would have started traveling earlier. I just want them, as soon as they become adults and be self-sufficient, just get that passport stamped up and travel the world, man. And you get to know who you are when you travel the world.
Man, that's good.
That's dope.
That's good. Do you think that working for Project Return, that's, the reentry organization that you work for, has significantly impacted how you parent?
Yeah, totally. Man, I see a lot of kids as my son's age come through there and just got out of prison, federal penitentiary, and 2-3 years older than my son. And so it makes me just kind of pull mine a little closer, man. Like, even when I try to, I want to open up and let little Q be a man.
Right.
Now I see myself pulling them closer. Like, nah, I ain't ready to let you go now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good. Right.
Yeah.
I had an older guy. Well, he's actually my football coach. He's at Baylor now. And we was signing my son up for Baylor, trying to get Paris into Baylor. And we was going through the process and the applications and all that. And he asked me to come eat lunch with him. So I went and ate lunch with him, and he was like, how do you feel about just sitting Paris out for 1 year of school? And I was like, nah, Paris ain't that type of kid, bro. He gets set out, he gonna be behind because just the way he was like, nah, he's like, most men, brain don't develop until they're 25.
Dude,
So with that being said, he did it. He set his son out in 6th grade.
We got like 10 seconds.
All right, he set him out in 6th grade and just let him do life skills. And when he went back to middle school that year, he was so far ahead of all the other kids and just maturity level. So that's why I say I'm going to just hold mine a little closer. 22, he's still a baby to me, so I'll wait till he's 25 to just kind of when he's developed. That's what I would say.
Q, man, continue, man. I'm glad you're making a difference, man. And
Thank
we
you,
just
Q.
want everybody out there to keep making a difference.
Keep making a difference.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You've been listening to Dads Making a Difference, powered by First Things First. Join us for our next episode right here